Hello, ladies and gentlemen. On this edition of Real Talk with B, we're going to preview the NFL season, and we will discuss Derek Sanderson Jeter and his ascension into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Now, first, we will discuss the NFL season. Now, to me, it's pretty clear what the season entails, and the following is: it's Tom Brady after coming off a Super Bowl championship facing the New England Patriots in Week 4. Hallelujah. Now, we have a situation where even though he won the championship, we're gonna see what his real championship aspirations is. He's gonna face his old coach in William Belichick. Now, the Patriots have decided to start Mac McCorkle Jones over the departed Cam Newton. And we got defenders from left and right on both sides. But that's on October 4th. So I think that, to me, is the game here. That is the game that's going to set the template for the rest of the season. But you've got the usual suspects like Baltimore, like Pittsburgh, like Green Bay, like Dallas, like Seattle. I think there are a lot of teams out here that can make hay. I think, especially for the first game for the Patriots, Miami is going to be a tough game. I think Miami is going to be tough this year. I don't know about the Bills, but I certainly think, that the Patriots are taking a chance with Mac Jones as their starter as a rookie. But this is in their wheelhouse because he's going to manage the game. And then you also got, if I mentioned, I believe, the Steelers. Yeah, I mentioned Cleveland. But I think between Cleveland, Baltimore, and the Steelers, that's gonna be the AFC. Then you probably got the Chargers. You got the Chiefs clearly. And the NFC, you got the Packers, you got the Cowboys, you got the Redskins even. You've got the Falcons. You've got a bunch of teams. Let me see who else in the NFC. We got in the West, got San Francisco. We got LA. I mean, there's a lot of teams out here, but I think this NFL season is gonna come down to, honestly, the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Steelers. Okay. I will throw also the Patriots in there. Baltimore's got somewhat of a shot. Then the NFC, you've got the Packers. You've got Seattle. Okay. And you've got also Dallas can finally make a run possibly here. But then you have LA as well. But I really do think, like, the Seattles and the Packer and and Aaron Rodgers and these guys can really make a difference. It's been a little convoluted what I'm coming out to, because the main focus to me is clearly Belichick and Brady as the meat of the matter here. And I think Tampa's also going to be involved as well because they're the champs. So if I mentioned that in the beginning, I mentioned that at the beginning. But I want to say I'm sorry for just being all over the place. But I'm just going off the cuff here with some of the early predictions. I think Oakland can be pretty tough this year. I don't know about Denver with Bridgewater. Also, I think as I'm thinking out loud here, let me see. We got the Rams. The Falcons can probably do something. Matt Ryan can probably muster up a little bit left of what he has to kind of make a run in the wild card. And we're going to see, some different things. But I definitely think of it as a surprise. I think the AFC East is going to be interesting now, because even though the Patriots are used to having a game manager to convert him into a supernova quarterback, that rarely ever happens in life now because Tom Brady is who he is. I think we have a situation where it's going to take some time. And this guy right now, if you know about the Jets back in the day with Chad Pennington. He's basically Chad Pennington with a strong arm. This is Mac Jones. But time will tell. So I don't really have a Super Bowl prediction as of now. But for right now, we've got basically, and I think, I don't know if I mentioned Cleveland in the AFC North. That's another team that can upset, as they say, the apple cart and make it a interesting season in the AFC. And I would say in the NFC, clearly, I mentioned Atlanta. And, Minnesota with Kirk Cousins. Who knows what that team could entail. So we shall see in that end. Maybe they can do something. So that's basically my preview for the NFL for this time. It is a fluid situation, but like I said, I don't have a particular victor for the Super Bowl or contenders at this point. Just giving a brief synopsis of what I think about the general divisions in general without going by each one in each individual position, what have you. So the following verse I'm going to use is in reference to Jerry Jeter as a Bible verse. For a Bible verse, and it's in the context of 1 Corinthians 9:24 that states, ye 9:24 states, know ye not that they which run in the race all, but one receiveth the prize, so run that ye may obtain it. So in this particular verse here, once again, in 1 Corinthians 9:24, I'll read it again. Know ye not that they which run in a race, one more time. 1 Corinthians 9:24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain it. So Jeter came up famously with Alex Rodriguez and Nomar Garciaparra. And I clearly, at the time, had my reservations about him as a player because I was into like statistics in general, and I kind of based my overall perception on statistics. But in reality, he turned out to be a 300 hitter, 5-time champion. I think he lost a World Series or two and lost that famous Game 7 versus the Red Sox in 2004. And the Red Sox proceeded to, end whatever curse that was happening during that time. But he had more great moments than anything. He hit that home run against the Arizona Diamondbacks, against, I believe, the closer Kim, Young Kim, I believe his name was. Submarine guy, proclaimed Mr. November. He was very clutch, and one of the things about Jeter that was so amazing about him was the fact that he was able to have the career he had in the spotlight. And, there were a lot of rumors about him having premarital relations, and now he's married. I guess he has twins now with his wife. And then his speech was great today. Very measured. He's a rep for the Marlins now. Believes he's part owner, part representation, what have you, for the Marlins. So he has a big plate on his shoulders in terms of what he represents overall. So it's a great thing to see Jeter ascended to that space. I think over him and Alex now, that Alex is going to be on the ballot. It's going to be interesting. I'm one of these guys that, because I grew up in a generation where all this stuff was happening with the steroids and everything. I think these guys deserve a shot. You name it, Alex, Manny, Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens especially. Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens especially. Never needed it. They had the stats. So he's the first guy out of the 3 guys, out of A-Rod and Nomar, that made it. Nomar didn't play long enough. I consider Nomar, the 2 years he had, we almost batted 400. Really, really good hitter. I still consider Nomar between the 3 probably the best out of 3 hitters. But Jeter stayed and he obtained it. First ballot because of the rings, because of notoriety. And he was not perfect, gentlemen. He mentioned it, and he didn't have those. He had a lot of rumored relationships, celebrity-wise. but he was always a man that played hard, made clutch plays, made that play against Oakland in the playoffs with Posada. That's very famous. So he was somebody that clearly did what he needed to do in order to obtain the ultimate prize besides championship, which is being honored and enshrined in the Hall of Fame. So I salute Derek Sanderson Jeter on his honor as a person who can appreciate somebody who played the game the way he played. And because I thought initially about the stats and what I say about Nomar, I still maintain. But in actuality, this guy stayed the test of time. He was a lifetime 200 hitter. So he's as good a hitter as Nomar. Even though I consider Nomar a little bit better hitter. So, this has been Real Talk with B this week. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe if you like. And until next time, blessings.